and the other stream work out because of a internet issue. And I want to say hello, everybody. This is the official stream for the night, and also I hope everybody's well, and especially people seeing this as a rerun. And so basically, I hope all the other people, come here and see a rerun of this. So here we go. So basically, I was doing a live stream just a moment ago, and also, and what happened was the live stream didn't work because of the connection. So I had everything done with the internet that I usually do, and for some reason, it decided not to work. And basically, I was thinking of something for a second. That's why I paused for a moment. Hello. Okay, hello, Ranch. Good to see you. Good to see you, bro. And as I said, condolences for your loss. And, my prayers are with you and your family. And yeah, so basically that's what happened. So I did everything that I usually do. And now earlier, my grandpa he completely, like, unplugged the thing and all. But I don't think that's necessary to do, as I've said before, to him, but it's okay. People do what they like to do. And yeah, we're back stranded. We're back on board. And on these phone lives, there's a lot of creepy weirdos that sometimes like to troll in here, so you could have a field day possibly with deleting some of the idiots that come in here. But, the clowns, the troll clowns. So basically, as I was saying, yeah, so the internet, well, at first, the reason why I was late for the stream was I was in some other chat rooms talking about, and I was not really realizing the time, and people were talking about, my channel, the aliens and stuff, and I was bringing them over. Hello, Alan, good to see you. And what happened was I was chilling with some people. I was keeping up with the Delphi trial, and that I've made a video about that came out earlier today, and also was telling some other people hello, and and like happy Friday and stuff like that, and then the time. And then what happened next was I did first was about to launch the live stream, and then what happened was somebody go grab Essie. And then what happened next was the gear, the green gear went out completely right when I press go live. Then what happened next was it just kind of gradually was coming back. It was going up and down. And I've done a lot of things with the internet. I've done a lot of work this week with the trial chats. Like, I'm in all these different chat rooms and stuff, talking to the different people back and forth. And then that happened. And so, as I said, I feel that, anything, sometimes it may need a break. But I want to basically say that, as I was saying before, we have some clowns coming here. Basically, what happened was it was going up and down, the connection thing, and then it finally went out completely. And then I was trying to bring it back on, and then it didn't completely, do it. And then while we were watching and doing the stream, it went up and down. It went up, as I was saying, the thing, it goes up and down. It goes to green, and then it goes to orange, and it went down, and it completely didn't work. Yeah, so anyway, thank you, Stranded, so much for helping us with that. And also, Alan says, I can only focus on trial at a time. I'm on the Sarah Boney trial now. Okay, yeah, so basically, I was watching that earlier, and that trial... Now, basically, with that one, I do what Addy kind of did, because it's something I do have a lot of different friends in the chat rooms, as you know, Alan. I'm not saying you don't, you do also, but these, like with YSL and these different groups, I go and, I'm there, and I joke around with them and talk to them, and I talk to these other chat rooms in the trial hemisphere. But then what happens is I didn't know that one was on, and I found out right when it was ending, because I looked at the page, and I saw that trial was on. And yeah. Exactly. Get them. Haven't heard. Also, so as I was saying, they were joking at YSL and we were roasting one of the witnesses, and because she was being stupid, she looks like Miss Love's sister, and she's being an idiot. And then what happened was we was coming up with all these different jokes back and forth. It was so funny. Then I went over to the burned husband trial, and we were talking about the case and how the state was presenting the information, how they gave them thousands and thousands of documents, but they didn't focus on, they should give them, like Karma B said, they should give them just a small amount of the, just the main evidence. At the same time, when you go and have all these different people, I mean, all this different evidence, it may be overwhelming, but then at the same time, if they leave out evidence, it's wrong. But what we came to the same conclusion is that the state needs to give, the state needs to give a more organized way of presenting the evidence. So that is what's going on with the Byrne trial, the husband Byrne trial. And another thing that occurred was, Alan, I went into the Bone chat room, the Sarah Bone chat, at the last moment, and I told everybody, good night, have a good weekend. And then I would but the three other ones I was keeping up with the most, and also the idiot mother that deleted her child, allegedly. And that woman's a Karen. She certainly is stupid, and she yells, and she was leaving her french fries on the table, and she was as cringe as Cox Cable. And what basically, if anybody supports her, they're causing an Abel. And she needs to get slapped by a staple. So she, as I said, she was ranting in her police interrogation. Oh, hello, Kadeda. Good to see you. Welcome. See, Kadeda, my other stream was having a problem, so I came in here. And I am now on this phone live. It's been a while since I've done phone live. So, Kadeda, shout out to you. I'm glad that you're here with us. And yeah, and basically we have Alan saying, in my opinion, Melody Ferris is guilty. Scott and Chris did nothing. Right. And basically, thank you, Alan, for your take on it. And basically, with the child, I think that it was horrible what she did to her kid, and she does not have the title of a mother, because a mother would certainly not delete her own kid. That's not what a mother would do. So a lot of us in the chat call her a monster instead. And then I was over at the YSL, and they had said the one of the witnesses, she looks like Miss Love's sister, and they're saying her hair looks like squirrel hair, like squirrel skins. It was, it was really, these witnesses are really something else. They're all characters. Now, Woody is our notorious character. Shout out to Woody, and he's not been on there in quite a while, but the other witnesses have been on and been very interesting. And the YSL trial just keeps going on forever. A lot of people are disgusted with it, and I'll keep up with it until, I'm a ghost or a vampire wandering the earth. Yeah, shout out to Woody, I miss him too. Until I'm a vampire or a ghost or something like that, or, on the other side, I will be observing the YSL trial, even if it's still going on 1,000 years from now, because it just keeps going on and on and on. And also, with I think that the witnesses, they keep on saying these different things. They keep on, it doesn't go anywhere. And Miss Hilton, she was being cringe today. She got herself a sketch pad board with this marker, and she went and marked on the board, and then for the witness, and I think everybody was saying that it was so ghetto what they were doing and tacky, and it's like we're all like in a classroom. Yeah, and it's just the way they presented that trial is cringe. And Monk Tunk, he was put back in prison today, and also people were just cringing out about the way it was handled. The whole thing is being handled. And Alan says, "Why am I blue and have a wrench? I'm not a moderator. Take that away from me." All right, so I'll take it away, Alan. If you're now, you may be joking with me, But if you really want me to, you don't have to. I just put you there for a second in case if we needed backup with the, because then with the phone lives, there's a lot of stupid people that come in here, a lot of clowns that come in here and do stupid things. And also having, although one or two mods or whatever is fine, I was just, you could help out to get rid of the trolls. But as I said, I'll take it off if you don't want it. That's okay. You may be joking with me though, and that's fine. I could give it back to you if you really want it back. All right. So we'll do this. As I said, you may be just messing with me. And it said Alan is cool people. He's a friend of mine. All right. But he wants to just be incognito. All right. Here we go. And if he wants to be a mod again, I'll put you as a mod again. But yeah, Alan is cool people. He's cool people. So haven't heard, he'll deal with the trolls. And so is Stranded. All right, but he may have been messing with me, and if he wants to be a mod again, I'll put him as a mod again. No problem. And yep. So basically with YSL, Judge Glanville was off the bench, and Ashley Merchant is credited with doing that because she went in there and defended Ryan Steele when he was held in contempt. And it was this really immature and wrong and stupid for him to do that, Glanville. And they were saying that wasn't the reason, but for other reasons, they went and took him off. Yeah, okay, yeah, I understand. Okay, I understand. Yeah, that's true. Okay. And I do trust Stranded, Kadeta, and haven't heard. Yeah, shout out to him. Yeah, I understand Alan. And yeah, so basically what happened was that trial was going on today, and the chat was really cool. And over at YSL, they were saying that, which sometimes certain things come up, and I haven't been able to be as frequently in all the chat rooms, but I realized I was maybe focusing on one more than the other, and I was known to trial hop, and I'm in like all these different chat rooms at one time. So I made sure to enforce myself to facts chat, and I enforce, making sure I'm giving. Yeah, shout out to the hood. Shout out to the hood, and maybe that was Woody out in the distance. And so basically, what happened was YSL, they were saying that it's been a while since I've been there, but I've been there frequently, but the chat goes fast. But I made sure that I was giving them the attention, and also all the other chat rooms attention too, because I usually do that, but I may have accidentally not been as frequent as I thought I was. And I want to be and see YSL and all the other chats because that's what I like doing. And I always did that from back when the mods were there. For years I've done that, going into different chat rooms. So yeah, today's been good. In the last few days I've been there in all the different chat rooms, and everybody has been awesome, been great. There's been some trolls like a couple of times, but overall chat's been getting along pretty well, and it's been going great over there. But as I said, in the different, the chat community, it's been going good. And I also, with the burned husband, there's been debate about it, because it's been going like, how would she be able to go and bring the body over to the burn pile? And then this stuff's coming out about her cheating on her husband. And then there's speculation about the two sons kind of like wanting the money out the family, and they're going to cut them off, and maybe they had something to do with it. And as I said, it's good to see how a case unfolds, because it's like watching a movie unscripted, because you could see all these different twists and turns, and something to turn in a second. So it's interesting to see the alleged cheating that happened, and seeing how that plays in the role, with all this. And yeah, shout out to Woody out in the distance. Shout out to Woody out in the distance. And basically, so that's debate going on with the burned husband trial. And then I got mixed up for a second with Karma B. She was, as I said a little while ago, the state was giving thousands of pages of data, and that would be very difficult to go through. And then, it should be put in a certain format and given to the defense. Now, it's explained to her, like with the Alec Baldwin trial, when the state withheld some information because they thought that it wasn't relevant to the case, the lawyer, the attorney, yes, it was what you thought it was, Stranded. Absolutely. It's maybe Woody out in the distance. A joke. And, shout out to the Space Hood. And, yeah, so basically, as I was saying, they were, they, okay, let's do a chat. Alan said, Silent Most is one of the most cosmic and stable people in the chats. He's always good, perspective on things. Thank you, Alan. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so as I was saying about the trial, thanks, Alan and Stranded. Shout out to y'all. So basically, with the trial about what Carmen and I were talking about, and I was explaining if they withhold information, it's going to cause a problem because they could argue that the state didn't give them information and they could have a complete trial being thrown out. And with a lot of people saying with YSL how the trial should be thrown out completely. I mean, the trial should be a mistrial, and that way he's not charged with it. Because as I said, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, it's good to see different opinions. I don't see any evidence that they did it, or that Jeffrey Williams did it, or if he did do it, he was good at hiding it. Or the state's extremely stupid at presenting information because they just don't really show anything that has to do with anything. Like they show a picture of people together but yeah, so with that, but maybe they didn't want to have the Alec Baldwin situation, but then again, they had 6 years to present the information, so it's quite lazy on the state's part. But yeah, that was something we're disputing today. And the Sarah Bone one, it's just, the suitcase thing, I mean, that's just and they will, we'll see how that trial unfolds. Okay, haven't heard. Thank you for chilling. And see you later, Billy. And so basically, so that's how the situations with the Sarah Bone opinions about it that are watching the trial. You'd let me know. When's a fight, a grizzly bear or a polar bear? All right. Probably for 4 years. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, shout out to you, Billy. And also, I'll take the question from Mugsy seriously. I can speculate about the grizzly bear and the polar bear. I could speculate, but I don't actually know for certain with the statistics about the different polar bears and things, which one would do better than the other one. I'm not quite. Bear is really ruthless. It could be very. I remember we were talking about a stream at one point about the grizzly bear and what it can do, and it's pretty intense. And also the polar bear, that one is also a monster too. As I said, I do not know for certain. I would have to go and research it, and I could go make a video about it. Actually, I'll go make a video about it, Mugsy. But I could say that it would be pretty close. But it does depend on what terrain they're in. Like if it's in a cold terrain, Stranded. I know. I'm just, I'll answer it anyway. But so basically, if it's a terrain like that, a grizzly bear is in, it probably would do. The grizzly bear may have the upper hand. Like in a warfare in Vietnam, the Viet Cong had the upper hand because they're in the same terrain. So I think terrain would play a role in it. If you're in the polar bear's terrain, it would be, the polar bear would be favored. Okay, Stranded, thank you. And tell me this is better. Okay, so basically the polar bear, it depends on the terrain with the polar bear and the grizzly bear. That's a factor. Like in Vietnam or any of the wars that occurred, it was always, the people that, in American Revolution, people that had the terrain were very good at winning. But if you're talking technically, statistically, that wasn't a factor. As I said, it depends. I'm not too sure. But I would, say, depending on the size of it, it could be the grizzly bear in some situations, but also it could be the polar bear too. And I think that it would probably be very close. And also, thank you for your question. I don't know what you know, I have questions like that too, but as I said, whatever the reason for it, I humored you and we talked about that for a moment. But I certainly will go talk about that in a video. I don't mind. But thanks for your question anyway. Thanks for your question anyway. So, because, those grizzly bears have very big hands. Also, the other bears too. Oh, okay, stranded. Okay. Yeah. So you're talking to Billy. Okay. So Muggsy, she was talking to Billy, not you and I. Yeah. So, and yeah, because bear spray was invented for the grizzly bear, but then again, polar bears are not really. I don't think they really interact with humans. Only humans that have Coca-Cola. And because grizzly bears you see there's like blood drenched on their faces and stuff. But as I said, grizzly bears, I think, they're in those woodsy terrains all the time, and they have a strong. They can maneuver around and have those big paws, those really big paws. And the other ones have a very strong resistance to the cold. So it may be tied. It just would depend on which bear was able to strike the other to the point of incapacity, or one left or one away. There's also warfare. There's a battle of psychological warfare. It just depends on the individual polar bear, which one was willing to go over the other one. Because the other statistics about if you were to judge which polar bear is really stronger than the other one, hypothetically, it doesn't really matter, because one polar bear, for various factors, may have the upper hand. It could it could hit it in a correct way or do something the other bear wasn't seeing. And I think that it just really would depend on the polar bear's mentality and how far they're willing to go. And also, terrain factors could play, in a role in it. As I said, like David and Goliath. David won in the, you may not believe in the biblical story, but in the story, okay, which I believe is real because I believe in it, but you would have a situation where the King David won, although he was favored by God. The point is, even if you're not as powerful as the other one, you could still win. So I think the polar bear and the grizzly would be very close, statistically speaking, and analytically speaking, they would be very close. But it would take just one to scare the other off or hit the other one in a certain way. And the terrain factors would also play a role. So yeah, thank you for your question. I like debating and disputing that stuff to myself but I certainly will look into polar bears and grizzly bears, and I'll make a video about it. All right, shout out to you, Muggsy. All right, so basically what I saw yesterday was the Nosferatu movie from 1979. And on YouTube right now, it's streaming live. It's streaming in a loop. And I saw one of my friends, Toronto John, he's somebody else I know on the other stream, regarding the situation with another channel. Thanks, Muggsy. Thank you. I'm glad that you like my analysis. Very interesting question. I enjoyed it. Thank you. And also, so I was watching, and I like scary Halloween stuff. This is my Halloween shirt. And basically what happened was with Nosferatu 1979, I saw Toronto John, and I saw some other cool people in that chat room. And I know him from another stream that has to do, a creature feature, what has to do with the scary movies and stuff like that they play. And yeah, so this was a different channel that I subscribed to that was playing Elvira and a couple of different ones, and they're playing this. And I always want to see it. I've seen Nosferatu 1979. I've seen that one I've seen scenes of it in these music videos that have to do, it was like some female singing, some atmospheric type song. And I saw the clips of it very great cinematography, by the way, 1979 Nosferatu. And yeah, so there's I had fun with my chat friends, and I watched it a couple of times over because I saw it in the middle, then I saw the end. And it's, as I said, very similar to the original Nosferatu that was shown in the one from the original one, but it's not a silent film, and it's in color, and the vampire he has lips like I do. And basically the vampire Nosferatu in that movie looks a lot like Voldemort, and from Harry Potter, and I was telling John that, and he said that probably was the inspiration for the character. And also, Strandon said, Muggsy says, yes, Alien will get in depth with stuff like that. Welcome to the ship. Yeah, welcome to the spaceship, Muggsy. Shout out to you. I'm glad that you're here with us. And yeah, so basically, and they had the subtitles. I know some stuff in German. I know some words, but of course I'm not fluent in German. I would have to go and uh, take some courses and stuff on YouTube. There's good things to learn about different languages and stuff, which I've done that before, but I would have to refresh my memory. But I know some German now. I'm of German descent on both sides, but I'm mixed with different European countries, like everybody else. I'm a mutt. But yeah, and my name's German, and also just a fun fact, and I like the German stuff. So, but I don't understand everything in German, but I understood some of it. But there are subtitles, which 99% of it or so I may have some issues. But I may know 1% of phrases and sentences what they're saying, like Blut, blood, which is blood. And Alan says, I know a lot of words in French, German, not so much. Hello, Alan. And also, what happened was seeing, and I know the story of Nosferatu from seeing it, I saw it in 2018 and 2017. Now, this was briefly after I graduated high school, and I was, seeing my girlfriend at the time. Shout out to her. She was cool people. And other friends, I still talk to friends, of course, today from back then, and I was over in that area. I was in another area over there, and behind the swing set over there is just like wood. It's kind of like a woods, kind of overgrown area, but it's like garden plants wild tropical plants I grow over there, and I meditate over in that area. But there used to be a chair there, and I would sit there sometimes and listen to some music and things like that. And yeah, I saw the Nosferatu, the full thing, and with the silent films. Hello, Muggsy. And also, what happened was, I saw Nosferatu, and you have a silent film, the original one. They just show you the different pictures of words that's going on. And yeah, so basically I was seeing the middle of it, and the bro, I'll see Muggsy, yeah, nah, do something impulsive like getting tattoo of Abraham Lincoln riding a panda sticking to the bear theme. Yeah. That's very creative. I like that. And he was a good president. And basically what happened was, and I like the Nosferatu film, and the old one that had all kinds of different overlays to show night and day. And with this one, it's in color, and the dude, this guy, Jonathan, which is actually, my name's a variation of Jonathan, and mine's from a German fairy tale, and basically Jonathan was going to Transylvania. Yeah, shout out to 16. Yeah, shout out to 16. Yeah, he was going to Transylvania because he was doing real estate, and he was going to purchase this house from this bro Count Orlok. And in 79 he's called Count Dracula, and because that's what was the original story was about. It was called Count Dracula, and basically he goes over there, and it's this creepy weirdo that's secretly a henchman of Nosferatu, which is Dracula in this particular film. In other films, he's Count Orlok. He's this creepy guy, and in this one, he's guiding him, to go. He's sending him over to Transylvania, and Transylvania is like the hood. So I'm like in a Transylvania type place. And also with Transylvania, there's going over there, and there's ghosts and ghouls and werewolves and spirits that walk the night, and Woody and all that stuff over there. And basically he's going out there, and the Count Dracula is very chill and very good cinematography, very good looking, themes, and the way everybody looks great. And the guy that plays Jonathan is actually the I know his name, but I just can't put my finger on the pronunciation. It's Gans or something. He's this actor that played Hitler in the movie called Downfall. It's where Hitler's last time in the bunker before he went and deleted himself. And he said in the movie, he's like, millions of people will hate me tomorrow after what I did, he said in the movie. And yeah, that actor, and that movie has so many memes because there's like Hitler at his desk reacting to the Soviets being 2 blocks away from his place because he was telling all these people to come to save Berlin, but he was like, you know, they all didn't exist. And as I said, it's good that, that was done, he was done away with because of the stuff he did. But basically, there's so many memes behind that movie. But that actor was the same guy that played Jonathan in this Nosferatu movie. So basically, he goes to this little inn, which is the same one in all the different Nosferatu versions, because that's what the storyline is. And he's go to this tavern and over there with these different ethnic type people from Europe that are over there, these Eastern European people, and they're just doing their violin and they're chilling and all. And it's interesting seeing it in color. And Strand says the tale of Dracula was based on real person, Vlad the Impaler. Thank you for that. Yes, that it was based on Vlad the Impaler, and he was, I believe, if I recall correctly, he was involved with the Crusades, and that could have been a fictional thing, but from something I saw. But if I recall correctly, he really was involved with the Crusades, and what she was talking about. And so basically, he was over there, and he was just chilling in the tavern. He said he was going to go chill with Count Dracula, and everybody's like, "Go! You can't go there, man. It's ghouls and goblins and things. There's evil spirits that walk the night." He said he's going there anyway. And then what happened was he eventually left, and there's always this little cute little kid that walks around with his violin. And thank you, Stranded. And he plays his violin. He's like in random places. Like rumor has it, he's still playing his violin over at the castle. And rumor has it, he might creep up behind me and start playing his violin. Shout out to the little kid in the movie. And basically, he went out and to the castle, and nobody would take him there. And he said he was going to give him money for his horses, but instead he probably would have an angry mob with torches. See, I drop bars. And so basically what happened next is actually not far-fetched. He went and asked to buy the horses, but the man said no, not even for a million marks of gold. And he threw him away like he was a bread of mold. And then Jonathan was walking out into the distance, into the darkness, and he went into you could see Transylvania, the mountains and the hills and all that stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, SC, I'm not gonna look behind me. I'm glad you told me. Shout out to you, SC, bro. Shout out to you, man. I'm glad that you're here with us, and hope you're doing well with everything, brother. And yes, so basically, yeah, shout out to SC, bro's hilarious. And also, what happened was, back in the other regions of in the movie, he's going to these, mountains and these hills, and in these different places, and eventually you have some dude came in so smoothly. He just came in smoothly with his carriage, with abundance of grandeur and luxury, and he went and hopped in to the carriage, and then they glided off away, and it was just orchestrated, and it was all chiseled. It looked like a Cinderella fairy tale, and this dude just came out of nowhere. And chat. And so then he was on his way to the castle, and it was so smooth. Like not Vlad, but Count Dracula. This man has Siri technology. He has Alexa far before we had it, and back in this 1700s or whatever. He was, going in there, and then there's this image, you see the image of the Great Staircase. Yeah, the co-captain is going to teach him a lesson. I know I got my co-captain in here stranded, and that's why I said I'm going to go in here, and there's trolls. She's going to, step on them, stomp on them. And yeah, shout out to you, stranded. And so the doors just opened by themselves, and bro was like standing there, like, I believe with his arm crossed and his cool hat on. And yeah, the dude was like, swagging. He was truly dapper. And then he was so smooth, like the count. He was at this table, and he was just very extremely polite and well spoken. And they were sitting together, and he said that I did not think I would have company at this late hour, and he would have to be by himself. And this man had really nice ham and nice food and vegetables, and he had these beautiful forks and stuff. And yes, so a side note for a second, which I'm still talking about Nosferatu. So basically, yeah, Lilith was, in some traditions, he was the first wife of, in some traditions, Lilith was the first wife of Adam that was made out of clay, and she felt equal to Adam completely. And this was like kind of the origin spirit of radical feminism. I'm not against the other ways of feminism that were good for women, but like, say, the extremists, like women that hate men, that's what I'm talking about. And that she was created out of clay, and she wanted to be completely equal to Adam. And there's a picture, a painting of her, and she's with the snake. And this big, like, anaconda snake is on her bare body. It's kind of like erotic looking. And she's like, with the snake. And Lilith is a vampire demon, turned into a vampire demon thing that was cursed. It is part of the spirit of evil and darkness. Shout out to Alan. Thank you for mentioning that, by the way. So that is in legends, that he allegedly had a first wife named Lilith, and it may be very true. Thank you, Alan, for sharing. So then when he's sitting with the count, he gets a piece of meat. And it was so calm in there, you felt like somebody was going to drop the hardest beat. But it was smooth. And yeah, the count, he was, chilling, and they were having a good time. And they were talking and stuff. And he was very polite. As I said, I can't get over how polite and well-spoken. Because, okay, this is what I mean. Okay? Hear this. Hear me out here. The vampire was saying, I had no, he says, I have no servants in here to comfort you. Allow me to be your comfort. And he poured the wine for him in his glass. To talk like that is so elegant. That's like, people don't, like, I'll start talking like that when I have a guest over. That's pretty cool. And, they were talking, and then he was like, basically, he became his new best friend, and he like slept over at his house and stuff for like a day or two. And then he said, what's the contract? And he said, we haven't just talked about a price, but no, the vampire Count Orlok / Dracula is very nice. He precisely said that price isn't necessary, and he just wants to get rid of the house, and you want to give it to him. And he said, it's right by your place over back where he lived in Germany. And he said, yes. And he said, you'll like this place. It'll be nice for you. And then he wrote out the contract. But when he took out the contract, he took out a picture of his wife by mistake. And, well, the vampire looks at it, and the vampire is very impulsive, unfortunately. And then he said, oh, she has a beautiful neck. And he was like, oh no, here we go. And basically, it was like really unfortunate. And then he was like locked in the house, in the big mansion. And then he was seeing that the vampire, he figured out he was going to go after his wife. And remember, the vampire, if you never would have seen that picture, he would have just been chill with him. But he was very impulsive. He was very impulsive because of his nature. And also, a side note, I'll say what Strand says. The snake part, interesting, as we know it was a snake that told Eve that she could eat the fruit of the forbidden tree. Yeah, exactly. See? Exactly. And also, Mary crushed the head of the serpent, so that Mary is a mother. Amen. Amen, Alan. And yeah, shout out to you, Alan. Alan, it's not bad. It's all good. We're talking about vampires, and it's good to have side talks. It's all good. It has to do with the topic. And Also, basically, what happened next was with the vampire, he was, locked in the house the next day, and he realized that with his vampires, the best not to play. Hey, bro. Shout out to DJ, my bro. Shout out to you, bro. And also, you see, what happened was with the vampire, he went out and he, and forget because his back to the first meeting they had, the years that it has worked. Fine, I'm good. It's just a little scratch. The dude was like bleeding from his thumb really bad, by the way. He was like bleeding from his thumb really bad. And he was like, it's just a scratch. And dude was like, come on, bro. All right. Hopefully this is better, Stranded. Yeah, so basically what happened was so he was, the vampire was like getting really like excited, and he was like, he saw himself some blood that he haven't seen in 400 years, and he was like, this is, and the dude was like, no, I'm okay, bro. And he had like a thing on his finger, and dude took his hand out of his own hand. Like, he did this. He put it in his mouth. It was like, and he was like, bro, it's creepy. Then he's like, was sitting in his chair, felt like he was playing Truth or Dare, and he felt dared. And he realized he got stuck in a snare. He wished he was out with his wife wearing white, eating pears. That basically he took his thumb and he started drinking the blood from his thumb after. So he was cutting some bread, and he cut his thumb, and he was bleeding. And then the vampire took and he put it in his mouth and drank the blood. And then he was just sitting in the chair, and then he woke up the next day, and he was trying to unlock the doors, the windows, and he wrote in his journal about what he would tell his wife, but he couldn't tell his wife anything because there's no postal service. And also, basically, I was seeing this situation where he was trying to unlock all the doors, and it was just impossible. It was like supernaturally shut, and it was also shut because of, they were locked very tightly as well. So he went out and he went into this other area outside. He just couldn't get, it was this outside area, but he was like inside the castle region. And he opened this door, this crypt. Oh, no, yeah, okay. Yeah, he didn't completely detach it. He just put the finger and the thumb in his mouth and drank his blood. That's all. With his crazy teeth. And so he went down in there into the under area, and he this like crypt, and he went into this crypt, and then when he went into his crypt, y'all see me from all kinds of different angles. Then when he went into his crypt, he sees this old coffin that's made out of cement, and it's like kind of broken open a little bit, and he looks inside, and he sees something really interesting, really peculiar. He sees the vampire, the guy he's been talking to the whole time. He sees this weirdo in the coffin, like all, and with his hands like this, like staring off into space, and with cobwebs all over him. So he was talking to a deleted person, and it was a vampire. And he was saying near negotiations when he wanted to sign the contract to give him his estate. He was saying that it's been in his family for hundreds of years, and this man was not kidding. I'm sure he was there when it was founded. But yeah, he was. So imagine how old the family is, because the vampire, why is he the only one still there? What happened to all the other relatives? It wasn't just him. It's like, so were they somewhere else? That would be an interesting story to create about his family. So then he went out and talked about these, he was trying to scramble everywhere to get out. And then this next scene, he's in his bedroom, and he's laying down, and then he, the classic scene, but it's a little bit different. He wakes up, and the hallway, the vampire's coming, and then the door opens, and he's like sleeping, and then he sees the vampire staring at him like this, and his hands are like that. Oh, this shadow I'm making is exactly like the classic Nosferatu thing. And so he's like this. And there's some scenes when he's kind of like that, and he peeks up. But yeah, they show the scene. The dude didn't run or try to fight him or anything. I know it's a cinematography masterpiece. The dude was just like this. He didn't do anything. He was like in a trance. He was frozen. And the vampire went and, bit him in his neck. And he likes him too. And yeah, then he wakes up from it. And he, that's a very classic scene. Yeah, Alan, I would think that you would be more. Yeah, like he was hypnotized. Right. And yeah, so Alan asked me, would I be scared of a vampire? You would not be. Oh, I would say that I would think the vampire would be scared of the silver and the crosses that I have. But, I could be a vampire myself for all we know. I mean, you never really know. But basically, if I encountered a vampire and like I'm a human, I would say that, yeah, it'd be pretty, intense to experience that. But I can, handle myself well. And I think that with all the stuff I research, I'd just would be expecting it. And even if I was freaked out, I would still do what I have to do to defend myself in the situation. Or, God bless me. And I would do also what SC says. I would rebuke it in the name of the Lord. That's the best thing that I would do as well in that situation, and trust in God, and everything would be okay. And I'm not afraid of the ghost either, because the ghost and the aliens. Well, no, let's say they're aliens from another planet, okay? I'm talking about the aliens that are actually fallen angels in disguise, but a vampire or a ghost, I don't fear anything. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. But as I said, if it want to come in my room with, or come with me out here, I mean, it would have some problems. Rebuke it in the name of Jesus, and have some things that may not like about me, with all the crosses everywhere. There's there's 2 crucifixes in my room. There's a gigantic old painting of Jesus in the front room that was from an old church from a long time ago, probably from when the Transylvania the incident took place. And there's another crucifix from some old friends from a very long time ago that was in an abandoned. When they abandoned it, for years and years, they gave it to me. So yeah, and I might have a piece of silver somewhere that they wouldn't like, but rebuke it in the name of Jesus. In all seriousness, because if I'm not a vampire myself, maybe we could, maybe they would just know that I just have some skin on my neck and I really do have some fang marks somewhere on me. But yeah, that's what I would do. And thank you, Alan. Very cool. Very good question. This is my shirt, by the way. There you go. All right. Anyway, so basically, as I was saying, with the vampire, so then he makes he takes out all these sheets and makes them into a rope, and he jumps out the castle, but he falls and hits his head. And that kid again is back, just randomly inside the castle, and he's playing his violin. And the bro wakes up. And while all this is happening, when he's talking to the vampire and stuff before, there's howling and moaning, kind of sounds like wolves, but he says that the spirits are out and about. And I have a theory that those were UFOs, because they're UFOs, some UFOs and UFOs and ghosts and dark spirits are connected. So you're going to have all kinds of those beings floating around. Hansel O'Lantern. Oh my goodness. Shout out to DJ. To be honest, with that shirt, you wouldn't have to worry about getting attacked by a vamp. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And also, basically, there's this situation where I'm Hansel O'Lantern, and as I said, Hansel's a variation of Jonathan, and for the character from the movie, and also the fairy tale talked. That's where the name comes from. Also, so as I said, I have lips like that vampire, that actor. I have lips just like that guy, and also basically with the so he goes out and eventually he's going back to his wife, and he's back in this time where there's like carriages and stuff, so he can't just get Uber, he can't get Amazon, and he can't go on Twitter and YouTube and stream like I am. He had to go and like limp back to Germany. Yeah, shout out to the dude though. You see, hard times make strong men. So as I was saying, the vampire, there's a scene where he's looking out the window before he escapes, and this man has technology, man. The vampire, he had all these black coffins, all right, and he does this. He gets inside the coffin, and he in the carriage rides itself to the dock, and they go, and all the coffins have rats in it, thousands, millions of rats, and he goes to the ship, and and they were just testing it, okay, and they see all these coffins, and they're like, they didn't think for a second to be suspicious, but they said, wait a minute, what are these coffins doing here? Fritz, what is this? And this genius, he goes, you know what? Okay, it says it's for a soil experiment. And they open it up, and hundreds, like 20 rats, and they have this dirt in there. Like, that's not suspicious at all. I mean, come on, man. Like, it's not suspicious at all. And basically, this would be a good snapshot. And basically, what happened was the vampire is in the ship, and the captain's making all these stories about there's this situation occurring where some sailors are getting sick, some sailors are disappearing, and the dude was writing it in his journal and writing the memoirs about what was going on, and like he would have put it on Twitter if it was this time period, and then the vampire was just there, and the captain strapped himself to the ship, to the steering wheel, because he wanted to be hell-bent on going to the course that he said he would go on. And then what happened next was he goes on the course to the land of Germany with all the rats, and the rats all go on board, and the dude was deleted, and all the people are starting to get sick, and the rats start infesting everywhere. In the beginning of the movie, the Jonathan and his wife wearing white, there's kittens in the scene, it's very cute, but now she and the others are wearing more darker clothing, and it's showing you the ambient atmosphere. Essie, that's great. I'm glad you're going to be calling in. That's awesome. And shout out to you, Essie. And basically, okay, stranded. Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, a good point. I wonder about him too. There you go. And also, so you have all these rats, and they're infecting Germany, and they're making everybody sick and deleting the people. And then there's the situation that occurs while the vampire attack was happening during the time of the movie, when the husband was attacked when he was sleeping. The woman wakes up and she starts sleepwalking, and she keeps having these nightmares and these screaming episodes when there's a bat by her bed. Yes, I'm still talking about the movie Nosferatu, yes. Because I was going to talk about the movie that I saw yesterday, as I said in my thing. And, yeah, so basically, yes, I'm still talking about it. We're still on the Nosferatu. And basically, and the woman was walking, and there's all these people carrying coffins at some point. Because there's a lot of people, her husband's sick, and he's back, and he's sick. And then all these people walking with coffins, and she says, I know what it is. I know what's causing it. And there's this doctor, and my friend Bobby, I've seen him in another chat before on some other show, and he knew me. and we were roasting the vampire the whole time, and then we were calling the doctor the doctor in the story Dr. Biden, but also, uh, what he is, he's also a, a nefarious doctor, because he kept on saying that he was, how do I put it? He kept on saying he was going to trust the science and not assume a vampire was attacking all the people, because there's fang marks in the neck. They're fang marks. So basically, what you have a situation here, the doctor is not accepting. He's trusting the science. He's not trusting logic and reasoning. Maybe that has happened in modern times. Maybe it hasn't. But basically, the doctor was bad because he was neglectful and he wasn't open to different change. Oh, okay. Scared. Scared. Yeah, so basically what happened was they were talking, or bringing all these different coffins out and things like that. And then the doctor is not accepting the doctor is not accepting the facts. Yeah, that shadow right there, I see it. The doctor wasn't accepting facts, and then more and more people were getting deleted. Yeah, shout out to SC passing out candy. Yeah, so that's what was happening. And then the apprentice, or the henchman, he was obsessed with the vampire, and he was so glad the vampire was coming to the town, and he was saying the vampire's here. He's coming with thousands of rats. He's gonna delete everybody, and experts and the doctor, nobody listened. Nobody listened, and there's don't trust the vampire. He's coming in, and scared, scared, scared. And also, what happened in the movie, it is stranded life form. So what happened in the movie, they were going and they kept on having instances of people being deleted constantly, and it was like the Black Death, the Black Plague. That's what was happening. And she was in this streets, and the streets were deserted. There's farm animals walking around everywhere. These crazy people partying in the streets, and these people eating outside and having a party. But there's something dark about the party. The party, there was all of these people that were just hopping around, and there's thousands and thousands of rats on the ground around the people partying on the table. And it reminded me of Alice in Wonderland. Another thing that occurred was that there was so many of these different things going on, where the rats were on the table, the rats were everywhere, just devouring everything. And then eventually she walked up the stairs with rats all over it, and she was wearing all black, and she was not being believed. Then she was in her bathroom, and this shadow appears on the door. Then the shadow comes through again. Scared. Scared. Stranded. And so then what happened was he creeps up, and she has this like crazy look on her face. So the cinematography in this movie was great. The cinematography was great, and I really liked what they did there. And I like how all the different people were, the faces they made and the different stuff they were doing. It was great. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Alan. And she came through, and this man came through the door. This man got no manners. He was like, the door, how fast does it take you to get through a room? Nosferatu, yes. And yeah, as I said, the whole time my buddy and I were roasting the vampire for being evil. And we were making all kinds of jokes back and forth. Shout out to Bobby and my friend and all the other people in the chat. And then she comes through, and she's there, and he's in the room with him, and she was saying she wanted to give her love to her husband. And he was like, oh, no, honey, you're going to give it to me. That's what he was inferring. He was like towering over her. He was all like, menacing looking. And then she was like, terrified of it, and she kept on telling the doctor, and he was like, "Oh no, it's not a vampire. Vampires aren't real. Trust the science." He literally said it's not scientific. That's why with aliens, my buddy that talked about aliens back when I was in school and stuff, is like, I always like to see other opinions. You never know, something could be true. Like Planet 10, Nibiru. It seems like there's something going on. And then what happened was they had these these instances like in Jimmy Neutron. I remember on that show where they didn't believe there was a zombie apocalypse going on in the show, and guess what? There was one. There was one, and that happened, and that caused pandemonium in the thing. And I don't know, like, you can't just, they're saying it's not real. It may really very well be real. And the mind likes to protect itself, and it likes to assume that things are okay. And all right, and wrong hand. Wait, I can do it with this one. This one, I'll do it with the other hand in a moment, but this is pretty cool for a second. Let's see. Yeah, and basically, as I was saying, this is some cool vampire effect I'm doing, by the way. And basically, what happened was I was going and watching it, and the vampire, he eventually came in her room. The classic scene: he comes in her room, and she's just silent and just like frozen in a trance, and there's no music or anything. And he goes and bites in her neck and makes all these slurping noises. And he's just chilling there for a very long time. And then he goes and gets her. He puts her hand on her right here. And he's just chilling on her. And then he jinxes himself. He's his own worst enemy. Because you know what happens next? Is that the sun comes up. And he gets all surprised. And his eyes turn glazed over white. And he goes... and then... he goes and he falls in the room in a corner, like, and he's all like, deleted. But yeah, she was deleted, unfortunately, and she became a vampire, just like her husband. But then she just like, unfortunately passes away. And then what happens is the sun comes in, and the vampire, he goes in the room in Nosferatu, and he goes and he bites her. He looks at her in the face and puts her in a trance, and she just is like frozen and can't do anything. And with no music or anything, in the neck, right here, he just starts slurping. He just goes chowing down like he's having a buffet, and he's going, and he's all like, he's like getting high off of it, and then he doesn't realize he has to go back because the sun's coming up, and then the sun comes up, and he's like, and he falls over in a corner, and then it's like GTA, it's like wasted, and then it's like there's laughing, everybody's like laughing at him because he got deleted, and the husband was safe because she put the host around him in a circle, and so the vampire couldn't go past that. So basically, there's all these vampires and stuff kind of around the area, and then he's deleted, and the vampire, Count Orlok is deleted. And then the doctor said, "I should have listened to you. You were right." And he took a big stake. This man pulled a giant wooden stake out of his ass, pretty much. And he goes and he hammered the stake in the vampire's heart. It was so funny. This man just was like, here we go. I gotta go delete this vampire. And the stupid idiot police dude in the story, you know what he does? You don't know. Thank you, Alan. And Stranded, yeah. And basically what happened was the police is like, "Oh, excuse me, sir. You are under arrest." It's like, and then he's like, "Put this man under arrest immediately for deleting a man." It's like a dude wearing all black, and he's like, he has his ears and all in his face and his teeth. He doesn't look like a human at all. and he's like doing this stuff to me and all, and everybody else in the chat, and he's making me cause other people to laugh. And then this man will like literally go and like tell him that has the nerve to think that the vampire was really a person, innocent, when there's a deleted woman next to the body with fangs in her neck. And he's like, oh, we'll arrest this man for deleting the vampire. And so then what happens is the other guy that was supposed to arrest him, he said, well, sir, governor, we don't have any jails or police because they're all were deleted. Because this place was like a post-apocalyptic society in Germany. And he's like, well, we'll find one. We'll get the police. The police aren't here. Get the jail. There's no jails. We'll go and put him under the dungeon. And he said, basically he threw his mom in the dungeon, so he can't go in there. So that was like a yo mama joke to the police person. That's what that was. And you didn't know, Keon? Jail? It's like, there's no prisons, Jim. And so, I have a whole bunch of voices along different personalities. So it's like, then basically, he has, everybody in the dungeon, so he can't put him in there. That was just a joke about the dungeon part. But then he then says, like, there's nowhere to put him. So they just said, oh, just arrest him anyway, governor. Cheerio. 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 And although it's a German movie and they wouldn't be talking like that, I had to do that. And then they were going out, and it was pretty, intense. So then the movie ends that way. That's how it ends. The vampire is deleted because of his lust and his, like, for the woman, because he didn't, and wanting to, it's okay to like somebody, that's okay to like somebody, but what happened to him was, his problem was, he was so interested in going with this guy's wife that he went and caused his own destruction. And, so that, in the story, that caused his own destruction. He couldn't control himself, and there's real people that, like, for instance, serial killers and stuff, that are like that. So the movie was very good, and the movie starts over, and the movie starts out with all of these deleted people from the Black Plague, these babies, these young people, they're just their corpses in this, what's it called? I know the name. Catacombs. It's these catacombs of deleted people. And it's very good. I could go on a whole rant about catacombs. So, but as I said, that's about Nosferatu 1979. Excellent movie. I recommend y'all watch it. And I'm glad that y'all like my humor. Humor. Hui. Alright, so anyway. So, basically, with catacombs, there's these catacombs in France that go miles underground, all over the place, that were used since like the 13th century, the 14th century. And people don't always know what's inside of all of them. Comfort. The vampire gives comfort. Comfort. And so, basically, what happened... So, basically, with the vampire, he goes out, and... we're not talking about the vampire right now. I already talked about him. So, in the catacombs, some of these YouTubers went down there, and some of these people that were working for the... YouTubers that were working for these media outlets, and some YouTubers went down there, and there's this guy that was going through the catacombs, and he was getting lost. Okay, I see that it's having a problem connecting. Alright, so let's see, going back. Alright, so basically what happened was, with the catacombs in France, they go on forever, and there's a YouTuber, a guy, he was filming it, and he ran off. He dropped his camera and he just ran into the catacombs, wasn't seen again. So he was like deleted in there somewhere. They don't know if there was like people trying to go after him, or if he saw a ghost or something creepy. So yeah, the catacombs go on forever, by the way. Yeah, so they're pretty crazy. Oh, by the way, I want to show you all something. Scared. There you go. Scared. I hang up these decorations. So there you go. That's what SC was looking at. I found him. I caught him red-handed. Caught you red-handed. Right there. So it's one of those clowns. Decorations. Yeah. And also it's time to look at the garden briefly. Alright, so basically oh, turn us around. Scared. One of my favorite decorations. These are some elephant ear plants. I grew these many years ago. There's a plant here, and it grew a bunch of other plants. And same thing with over there. This is a pumpkin plant. These are some flowers that grow in the fall that I planted a long time ago. They're about to blossom. Yeah, Diddy Combs is scary. He's terrifying. All right, these are some of the flowers I grow. They blossom every fall. I've grown them for many years. Since 2020, I believe. Yes. And they come back every year. These are some sunflower stalks. You kind of missed it, Latina, but yeah, shout out to you. Now, unfortunately, I know Latina just got here, but eventually, because the phone will go out eventually. But yeah, I'm glad Latina's here. I'll be here for a few moments, but I'm not ending it at this moment, by the way. Yeah, but anyway, Latina, oh, thank you, Latina. Thank you. And also, basically, yeah, Latina, we're talking about the vampire movie for a little while, and the catacombs, and some trials and stuff. But yeah, these are some of the flowers. They're blooming. You know, I'm going to be growing some stuff, by the way. Yeah, these came from a plant from 2017, and it blossomed and created a bunch of other plants for all these years later. So these are descendants of that plant. They're growing well. Yeah, shout out to the sunflowers. I'm surprised that these sunflowers survived all the different hurricanes and things. But look, this is what the hurricane did. Look what the hurricane did. One of the hurricane, not Helen, but one of the hurricanes that came here earlier this year, they went and knocked over some of this. That's why these flowers are knocked over. They usually stand upright, but because of all that stuff that kind of, it pushed them this way. But it's all good. They're still going strong. Look like I'm going through a tunnel. Yeah. All right. And also switching this. This is a pineapple. That's a pineapple plant. Pineapples are chilling right there. I have an elderberry tree in the back, actually. There's an elderberry tree in the back. Woods. I have one. They grow here. And Latina, good to see you. Latina, this is my Halloween shirt, by the way. Yeah, Latina, there is a problem with the computer stream. There was a problem with it. The internet was having a horrible problem. A malfunction happened, so I just did the phone live instead. And here we go. Over here. So hopefully this works again. All right. Ever that creep show episode that Stephen King and the meteor came down and turned him into a plant? Oh yeah, I saw that, SC. I also saw that in another thing too. I also saw it on Goosebumps. Oh, another thing I've been watching is the Goosebumps on YouTube. They've been bringing back the Goosebumps movies, the Goosebumps TV show, and the Goosebumps TV show. It was very, very good. You know, and there's loops of it on YouTube. So I've been watching Goosebumps also. Thank you, Alan, so much. Yeah, Children of the Corn. That's another good one. Yeah. Thank you, Alan. I'm glad that you like my voice, the different voices I do. All right. And also, okay, so unfortunately, I know I just got here, but unfortunately the battery is about to go down, and so this stream will have to end. But I will see tonight about possibly maybe bringing another one back somehow. Possibly, yeah, I know. And also one more thing for you, Alan. I didn't know you were here. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Chire. I'm glad that you're with us in chat. Yeah. And I don't even, mind doing this until the phone dies. It's okay, but anyway, I'm still going to tell you all. So, yeah, straight. And also, I am it's so unfortunate that what Wi-Fi. As I said, I found out that Cox has problems sometimes, and I don't know if it was completely necessary for them to, something, just something. I don't know if it's completely necessary, but it was working all right earlier. The internet worked. It was, but I said we've had some really great streams that had no problems so far. But basically, this one it had some, it had some cringe to it. It had some cringe to it. Not this stream we're on right now, but the other stream. It was kind of messed up, but Yeah, but I appreciate all y'all coming out and all, and we'll be doing more of these. And I'm glad for you all mods in the chat being here for us, because it's good because we have some goofs that want to be stupid. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked it. I'm glad that you liked it, DJ. And I've been holding up my hand the whole time, by the way. Oh, yeah, see, yeah. I see, yeah. Yeah, so, alien spaceship, I hope I don't make you feel uncomfortable when I say, think you're beautiful or cool, right? Alan, yes, you don't bother me. It's all right. Thank you. And also, basically, as I was saying, I appreciate all of y'all, and yeah, thank you, Shay. I'm glad you have my back. And Alan, I really like you on the streams, and I appreciate the compliments and stuff. And you're a good friend. And I like the different insight the different insight you give on the stream chats. You don't bother me. You're all good. And also, because there's so many, people that have hatred. There's trolls and stuff that troll me a lot. So it's good to see, the good comments not bad. People tell me something good is not bad. And also, glad y'all have my back. And yeah, and I also want to say that I hope all of y'all have. And as I said, I'm kind of doing this because it's not going to go out completely yet. But yeah, I want to say that I hope all of y'all have a good weekend, and I hopefully will be doing a live stream tomorrow, seeing what happens. And this doesn't happen all the time. It's very rare it'll do this, and we'll be doing the computer lives again. Yeah, I don't. The trolls don't bother me. I'm just saying, that they're just a waste of my time. I don't pay them any attention. And basically, they, alien spaceship. I love you. Your T-shirt. Please wear it every day in October. Oh yeah, I, I love it. It's very comfortable. Yeah, you enjoy both formats. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good, Sheree. And also with the vampire, I enjoyed seeing that yesterday, and I liked, you know, seeing that movie. I really, liked seeing it, and I liked, talking to you all about it. And I hope that you all had a good week and have a great weekend also. And, we'll be back up, and I will be doing the phone lives more often. And as I said, I wish you all a farewell, and look out for other streams I may do throughout this week and next week. And everybody take care, and, saying goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. And go. Yeah, Trey, I'm glad you're able to come and tell me hello. Yeah. And also, the weather is very nice here, I'll say. It's like in the 60s or so. It's very cool weather. And I really appreciate the weather. And, all right. And y'all do good. Y'all be safe. All right. Peace. Next time, and even after Halloween, I'll probably still talk about some scary stuff because of this situation that happened. I'll talk about some more scary stuff. Thank you, Chure. I'm glad you thought that was funny. Yeah, that was really funny. I like the questions. I'm glad that you were lurking. Oh, thank you, Latina. Yeah, sweet sorrow. God bless you all. Peace.